traitors! I command that you fight, but above all else, I command.
We're in. Let's find the comic master.
Obey my example, and the cattle will fall in line. No role. They do not exist. Choose to exist.
Ready when you are.
Which is forbidden!
Beat the crows! Up. Then down.
Bartered this city, that is true. But on town, traitors.
I can smell you.
an outsider. Time to test my gift. I am will made flesh. So much flesh. The butcher did not come to me! Prove my worth!
I'm here on behalf of the Crows, Poisoner.
Poison? You face the gift of the gods!
After it's dead.
Saving.
Let this thing out!
Save him! On it!
Fear! Rise with rage!
Think we've just about got it!
Can you help?
It's done. The Comic Master's dead.
Thank goodness. Hate those things.
First things first. Let's destroy the rest of the poison. Then we figure out what was going on here. That's the last of the poison, thankfully. Let's look for anything else that explains what's happening. Wait, this note says that wasn't all the comic. The Butcher's angry because some went missing.
What? Who stole it?
No idea. But the note does mention the Butcher's inside traitor. The occupation had help. Taya and Viago need to know they were right.
Are you out of your minds?
Someone.
I told you crows to stay out of this!
Out of what? Defending our home?
If we had a stronger civil government instead of a bunch of circus criminals, the Antam wouldn't have a foothold in the first place!
You're responsible for the city?
This is Governor Evenchi. They have concerns.
My concern is how you've endangered the city.
We're defending Antiva.
These protections are in place for the good of everyone. You act without oversight.
We crows are the oversight.
And yet, here we are, awash in Antam. And now, you've angered the Butcher.
It's bigger than whatever it is you're whining about. The gods are corrupting some of the Antam.
And the Butcher?
You two were right. He had help taking the city. Human traitors.
I didn't want to believe it. Killing the Butcher does nothing if someone could just sell us out again.
I'd start right here. You Talons are known for infighting and betrayal.
You're accusing them? One of their crows died for this contract.
That's enough. Rook, thank you for finishing that contract. The only reward we have is to ask you for more.
I keep track of how many favors you owe me.
Evenchi is right about one thing. The Butcher will not like that we're fighting back.
We need to be ready. Rook, I will have every crow tracking this traitor and the gods, and we will send word when we find something.
The stakes are too high. This should be left to proper officials.
Go back to filing trade receipts, Evenchi. The crows rule Antiva.
And Treviso will be free. With or without you, Governor.
Your coin helps, and there's some good bargains out there for you. I'm always open. Does it feel like this place is Solus's revenge? We spoiled his ritual and now we have to house sit for him.
A sharp eye, a quick mind, and luck. That's most of the job.
So, do you think I could become one? An investigator?
It takes a certain amount of focus, too.
Oh, okay, well, maybe not then. I still can't believe it. I'm talking to the Nev Gallus.
And that's sweet, but I don't need the flattery.
Right, just a person I'll try to remember.
Rook, here to join us?
I'm glad to see you're making friends, Balara.
Oh, definitely. Nev, she's been just so kind.
It turns out Balara knows my work. Or at least the parts that make the papers.
It all sounds so exciting. The things you've done, the people you've helped.
Those are the ones that go well. You don't hear about the rest. Everyone wants a scandal. Or a happy ending.
Or both, like the time you told the Marquis to—
Hold on. I don't think Rook's interested in that story.
Rook's a little interested.
Look, I'd love to, honest, but that story needs the right atmosphere. After dark over bad coffee, or expensive wine, Take your pick.
Speaking of, what's the situation with cooking exactly? Are we on a rotation or what? I can help out. I'm a pretty good cook, with some things at least. Well, most of the time. Sometimes I get distracted and things burn.
Oh, good. It's not just me.
Do you mostly cook Dalish foods? I haven't had a chance to try many.
Sometimes. Not a lot of options when you're out in the forest. But I've learned a lot of different cooking styles. And Tivin, Rivani. Oh, I even learned how to make Tevinter Khachapuri.
Wait, real khachapuri? The hollowed out bread? 3 kinds of cheese? I love khachapuri. What about you, Rook? What are you craving?
Cheese and bread were the only words I needed to hear.
You have no idea.
It's good with the right cheese, which can be hard to find out in the forest.
Well, we'll have to see what we can find you. You should have an assistant, someone to make sure it doesn't burn. See if it tastes right, that sort of thing.
Nev Gallus, helping me cook?
Again, the flattery.
Right, just a person. Got it.
Great. Now, let's see what we can scrounge up.
You've been quiet.
I know. Just thinking. But I said we'd talk, didn't I? I heard a voice after we saved that man. It told me I was touched by the ancients and that I should seek it out. Seek her out.
Aha! Now you know what it's like to have a voice in your head.
You know, I don't care for it. What if she's like me? Maybe that's why only I heard her. She said to look to those closest to the stone to locate her.
Meaning?
The children of the stone. Dwarves. Not surfacers like me, but the ones from the deep roads. Almost 10 years ago, a shaper from Orzammar bonded with a titan.
Titans, ancients. You think it's related?
It would make sense, wouldn't it? Volta. That was the shaper's name. Maybe there are more like her down there.
You going to drag me down to the deep roads?
I will absolutely drag you with me wherever I look for answers. I'll check with my contacts in Orzammar. The minute they give me a lead, we'll go.
It's a date.
A date?
I mean, a prearranged time and place for a specific activity. Unless you wanted it to be a date.
I, shouldn't get ahead of myself. Who knows if my contacts will have anything to say.
Right. Let me know.
manifestation.
Rook, do you have a minute?
Of course. Something wrong?
Thea wants to meet.
That doesn't sound like a bad thing.
She wants to plan Katerina's funeral.
Oh, right.
If you don't mind, I could use some backup. In case Spike gets out of hand.
Let's not keep Taya waiting.
How is he?
It is good Rook found Dareth's contract. Ayer says Jacobus is comforted to know his cousin's death was not in vain.
Work might help focus him. But until he can control that temper, I cannot approve Jacobus as a full-fledged crow.
I feel as you do. We worry about Jacobus. His future seems so dark.
There's comfort to be found in the dark.
It could be hard to find without someone to guide you.
Then we must ensure there are crows alive to guide him. Good, you're here.
Thank you for making the arrangements, Thea.
For Katerina? How could I do otherwise? I'm so sorry, Lucanis. This must be such a blow. Rook, thank you for coming with him. I need Juan de la Muerte to plan this. His cousin has been no help at all.
I'm sorry, Thea. This is just too much right now.
If there's anything I can do, just say the word.
You're such a dear. I hope these two are paying attention.
Thea, don't flirt with my colleague.
Jealous? Fine. To business, then. There's a lot to plan. But first, I need the ashes.
Ashes?
Make it help us. Yes, the ashes. Katerina's ashes. From the cremation?
Oh, yes, of course. I'll get them to you right away.
Ilario, what happened?
What do you mean?
Katerina, how? How did the Venatori get to her? When? Where? In the estate? In the city? How did they get past our people? What did they use? Poison? Blades? I need to know.
Cousin, stop. You can't dwell on this. It'll drive you mad.
I'm not dwelling. Zara killed the first Talon. I have to know how if I'm going to stop her.
I told you, I'm handling it.
Boys, enough of this. We have other things to discuss.
My apologies, Andrea. Continue without me. I'll get you the ashes.
How are you holding up?
I'll be fine. Better once we kill Zara Renata. It's him I'm worried about.
Hilario can be a handful, but this? The only time I've seen him like this was when Lucanis died. You're worrying, aren't you? What will people say if they hear the demon of Virantium has a big, soft heart?
He's been careless at times, but never when his own life was on the line. Zara took down the first Talon. Anyone could be next. And my cousin doesn't want to think about it?
You have a point. It's not like Hilario to ignore a knife coming at him.
What do you need from me for the funeral?
Come, I'll get us some drinks and we can make the arrangements.
Our house owes you for handling all of this.
Katerina was family. Can you imagine what she'd say if she saw us all like this?
She'd be furious, especially at Hilario, as usual.
I barely know your cousin, and he already seems like trouble to me.
Oh, he is. I've lost count of the times I've had to pull him out of the fire on the job.
He's a good assassin. Most jobs don't have as many fires as yours do. I'll have my people keep an eye on him for you.
Thank you, Taya.
Go on. I'll let you know if something comes up.
Thank you for handling
The food here's better than at the Hanged Man. The Fade doesn't have weevils, I think.
That veil bubble Rook and Harding found you in. How often do those happen in Alathan?
Sometimes, often, never. Depends on the day, and they're unpredictable. And with Elgranon and Gillenane loose, who knows what might get twisted up.
Well, isn't that a treat?
Inherent instability and survival uncertainty aside, they really are fascinating.
I'll take your word for it.
You know, we have more comfortable rooms and basically infinite space, so why,
Why does the trained assassin prefer a quiet, unassuming spot with good choke points?
Guess you just answered that question.
Besides, I'm closer to the coffee.
Nice day for it.
They're close.
Push them further!
End it now! We need to close in. We're in the clear.